Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the fourth video lesson of grade 4. I'm your English teacher from Honors Kindergarten and Secondary School. We will study two poems from New Oxford Modern English and one topic from Grammar Tree. Topics: English A, poem number 4, From a Railway Carriage, and poem number 5, The Snare. English B, present perfect tense. Timeline. First, I will tell you dictation words which you will underline on your books. Then I will briefly explain meanings of these difficult words. Then we will read poems and will do comprehension of the poems. We will learn about poets' imaginations and thoughts, and in the end we will see bookwork. Let's start poem number 4, From a Railway Carriage. Open page number 46. Let's see the meanings of difficult words. Charging, rushing forward. तेजी से आगे बढ़ने को चार्जिंग कहते हैं. Driving rain, rain falling very heavily. Lumping, moving awkwardly. Meadows, areas of grassland. Scramble, to move quickly or awkwardly. Troops, groups of soldiers. Poem number 4, From a Railway Carriage. Faster than ferries, faster than witches, bridges and houses, hedges and ditches, and charging along like troops in a battle. All through the meadows, the horses and cattle, all of the sides of the hill and the plain, fly as thick as driving rain, and ever again in the wink of an eye, painted stations whistle by. Here is a child who clambers and scrambles, all by himself and gathering brambles. Here is a tramp who stands and gazes, and here is the green of stringing the daisies. Here is a cart run away in the road, lumping along with man and load. And here is a mill, and there is a river, each a glimpse and gone forever. This poem is written by Robert Louis Stevenson. In this poem, the poet shares his experience of his first railway journey. He has been amazed by the speed of the train. He says that speed of train is faster than the speed of ferries and witches. It runs so fast that the bridges, houses, and ditches pass by in a moment. It goes forward as quickly as army soldiers attack the enemy in the battlefield. The train runs through common grassy lands where horses and cattle are grazing. All the sights pass as quickly as drop of train follows another drop. Many colorful buildings of stations appear and disappear in a glance due to the speed of train. Poet sees a child climbing up steepy ground. He moves with difficulty and gathers blackberries. He also sees a homeless person looking at the train with amazement. He sees some ladies making garlands of daisies in a common grassy village land. In the middle of road there was cart with load. Due to heavy load it was moving awkwardly. The cartman was sitting on the load. It also sees a river and a flour mill. All these scenes appeared and disappeared in a very short moment. Let's see the summary of this poem. This poem is about the experience of a railway journey of a boy using the rhythm of verse. The poet explains the train's speed as the natural scenes which he looks from the railway carriage. The poet compares the speed of the train with the way the ferries fly. Students, open page number 49. Let's do our bookwork. Part B, question number 4. See if you can fill in the blanks in the following. The first one has been done for you. Some country names have been given and we have to write the languages which they speak in their countries. The first country is England and they speak English. In France we speak French, and in this way you can complete the rest of the parts by yourself. Part B, question number 5, page number 49. Write the singular of these nouns. You have been given plurals and you have to write singular of these nouns. The first plural is leaves and the singular would be leaf. And in this way, you can complete the remaining parts by yourself. Part C, question number 1. Underline all the pronouns in the following sentences. What is a pronoun? Pronoun takes a place of noun. The first part is she lived in a France many years ago. She is a pronoun. Let's look at part number C. The soldiers came and burnt its villages. It is a pronoun. And in this way, you can complete the rest of the parts by yourself. Part C, question number 2. Underline all the adverbs in the following sentences. What is adverb? The word which tells how, when, and where an action was performed. The first part is Shini walked slowly down the street towards the river. Slowly is an adverb. The second part is she put her feet into the swiftly running water. Swiftly is an adverb. And in this way, you can complete the remaining parts. Now look at part C, question number 3. Put suitable prepositions in the blanks in the following sentences. Open page number 50. What is preposition? A word or group of words that is used with a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase to show direction, location, or time. For example, on, over, off, to, by, about, etc. The first part is it was very cold and Sarah was asleep dash bed. It was very cold and Sarah was asleep in bed. Look at the second part. Suddenly she heard a song dash the room dash her. Suddenly she heard a song from the room below her. The answers are given here. You can complete the rest of the parts. Let's start poem number 5, The Snare. Open page number 60, poem 5, The Snare. Underline these dictation words. Aid, wrinkling, sudden, cry, frightened, searching, snare, paw, afraid, pain. Let's see the meanings of some of these difficult words. Aid, help, madad karna. Wrinkling, a fold in fabric or the skin of the face. जैसे आपके मुंह पे रिंकल्स जब पड़ना शुरू हो जाते हैं, झुर्रियां पड़ना शुरू हो जाती हैं, उनको कहा जाता है रिंकल्स. सडन, एट वंस. क्राई, टू वीप, रोने को कहा जाता है क्राई. फ्राइटेंड, टू सफर फ्रॉम फियर. Poem 6, The Snare. The Snare is written by James Stephens, and I will explain this poem stanza-wise. I hear a sudden cry of pain. There is a rabbit in a snare. Now I hear the cry again, but I cannot tell from where. In the first stanza, the poet hears a cry which appears suddenly, making him aware, and he tries to listen it more. He recognizes the sound of a rabbit trapped in a snare. The rabbit is making sound in pain. He hears the sound again, but is not aware where it is coming from. But I cannot tell from where. He is calling out for aid, crying on the frightened air, making everything afraid. Making everything afraid, wrinkling up his little face, and he cries again for aid, and I cannot find the place. In second and third stanza, the rabbit is calling out for help, and the poet hears the cry again. He tries to locate the poor rabbit, but fails to locate the place. The rabbit's painful cry creates an atmosphere of fear and pain. The rabbit's distress and pain can be sensed in the surrounding atmosphere, and it creates horror. The cries become loud and everything is overpowered by their effect. The poet, in his imagination, can see the rabbit's paw caught in the snare. He can see the rabbit's face creasing in pain. The cry comes again and again, but the poet is unable to locate the place from where it is coming. And I cannot find the place where his paw is in the snare. Little one, oh little one, I'm searching everywhere. In last stanza, the poet again imagines the rabbit's paw trapped in the snare. He is left with no other than to cry in pain as he is stuck and cannot go anywhere. The poet tries to call the poor little rabbit, however, he knows that the rabbit cannot answer. Till the end of the poem, the poet keeps searching for the rabbit but cannot find it. Let's see the summary of this poem. In this poem, poet describes how a rabbit gets caught in a snare. The pain and the cries of the rabbit are heard by a child. Please open page number 61. Let's do bookwork. Students, you have been given answers of these questions in your summer vacation work, so learn them from your summer vacation work. Now open page number 62. Part B, question number 1. Write the singular form of the following words. You have been given plurals and you have to write the singular form of the given words. The first word is worries and the singular would be worry. The next part is lorries and the singular of this word would be lorry. And in this way you can complete the remaining parts. Part B, question number 2. See if you can find the nouns which help to make this adjective. The first part is healthy and the noun which will help to make healthy adjective would be health. The next part is strong and the word would be strength. And in this way you can complete the remaining parts by yourself. Students, that was all about the poems from New Oxford Modern English, Book 4. We have studied 2 poems from A Railway Carriage and The Snare. I hope you have understood the poems. Pause your video here, read the poems from your book, learn question answers, underline dictation words and complete your book work. Then resume your video again for the explanation of English B work. Let's start grammar tree work. Present perfect tense. Affirmative sentences. The definition is it is used to express action that started in the past and continued to the present. Formation is subject plus has have plus third form of verb plus object. Identification of present perfect tense is we use चुका है, चुकी है, चुके हैं at the end of Urdu sentences. Look at this table. Subject he, she, it and singular nouns. We use has with these words. Has, have, they are helping verbs. And I, we, they, you and plural nouns we use have with these subjects. For example, they have written letters. He has finished his work. She has forgotten her folder. We have lived here for all our life. And I have worked here. Negative sentences. Formation is subject plus has have plus not plus third form of verb plus object. Examples: the child has not drunk milk. She has not washed clothes. We have not finished our work. The farmers have not harvested crops in March. The accused has not spoken the truth. Interrogative sentences. Formation has have plus subject plus third form of verb plus object plus question mark. Examples: have you gone for walk? Has the postman distributed the letters? Have they learned their lesson? Has Najma made tea? Have we decorated our room? Summary: present perfect tense. In affirmative sentences, subject plus have has plus past participle. For example, I have tried sushi. Negative sentences, subject plus has not plus have not plus past participle. I have not tried sushi. And in interrogative sentences, has have plus subject plus past participle plus question mark. Have you tried sushi? I hope you have understood all the concepts. Thank you for watching.